What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 327.3, our Fever recap and reaction with John Robertson and Michelle Garmon from the Fever's 98-77 Caitlin Clarkless loss to the New York Liberty. Of course, we address the Caitlin Clark injury and look ahead to the second half of the season. And a reminder that we do this after every single Fever game. Also Pacers, Colts, IU, and Purdue, plus IndyCar racing.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and this reaction to the Fever's loss in New York on Wednesday night. We do not have a final score yet, John and Michelle. I'm joined by John Robertson and Michelle Garmon of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader. With 1:35 to go, it's the New York Liberty 98, the Indiana Fever 73. Again, the Fever without Caitlin Clark. We don't know any more than that as far as I know, the last I heard. And went into New York against the best team in the league and got a result that you probably expect, John.
Yeah, no shock we weren't probably going to win this game. It was going to take a miracle to win. I mean, the Fever scored to 73, so that's the highlight I'm going to take away. 73 points isn't bad.
No, back-to-back games are tough, especially when both are on the road. And even though it is a short flight from Connecticut to, New York or wherever they flew in. I don't know if they flew into New York
Boston.
or if they flew into New Jersey. They're playing Barclays Center. But still, when that second game as a team as good as the Liberty, that makes the back-to-back night even tougher. And especially when you don't have Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I don't think any reasonable fan did not expect to win this game anyway.
Even with Caitlin, it would have been a tough game to win.
Yeah, 100%. The Liberty are the best team in the league, right? And the Fever are playing pretty well, but they're not playing Liberty level by any means, even with Caitlin.
Yeah, a couple of games ago, I think we said if they play at that level, I don't think anybody could beat them. But, of course, you don't play at that level every single game anyway.
No, especially on the second half of a back-to-back.
Right. Really, really tough back-to-back for Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah, she was struggling, but she's had a couple of really good games. So, having a down night happens. Kelsey Mitchell had a good game again. I mean, good. 16 is not like her usual numbers, but that's a pretty solid game. She got the record for most threes in Fever history, so that's a positive takeaway.
Passing Tamika Catchings.
Yes. Anytime you pass Tamika Catchings for a Fever award, I think that's you're doing something.
You are doing something right.
Really not a lot to say about the game, honestly, except for it kind of went how you expected it to go. The ball movement wasn't exactly great. All
right. Well, then let's move on.
A lot of easy shots.
Then let's move on. Sophie Cunningham, again, fourth straight game, I believe, in double figures. She scored 12 tonight. Dantas, very nice performance.
Sophie started tonight over Lexi. I think that's fine. Being a Lexi Hall fan, as always, we say I'm the biggest Lexi Hall fan. I don't know that she's not struggling a little bit injury-wise, so having Sophie start seems fine. And she's shooting okay. I mean, 5 from 12 is not really great, but she had 2 threes. Dantas looked pretty solid. Her minutes are always looking good. Timpson got some extended minutes tonight and got 8 points. That was good to see. I really like the development of Timpson. I mean, as a background story, I like that we're seeing her develop when she has the opportunity.
I agree, John. She's I think, gonna be key. I like to see her get minutes, and I'm hoping that she continues to grow because really, I'd like to see Aaliyah Boston not always have to play so many minutes. But I don't think that's going down because her passing is so good. And so when Caitlin is not playing, is injured, it's almost like I think Boston's got to play a lot because she kind of plays that point forward, or they can run the offense through her because she is such a good passer.
Well,
I said she struggled tonight, but she did have 6 assists. Let's point that out.
I had her for 3 assists because it was the easiest bet I've ever made in my life. I was like, Aaliyah Boston will easily have 3 assists. Her passing has greatly improved this season. Yeah. She had 7. I heard something earlier that, like, Caitlin's one of the only people that actually gets the ball to Aaliyah. And, like, I kind of laughed when I read it. But when I watched the game tonight with that perspective, it's kind of true. There really wasn't a lot of people getting it to Boston.
Especially in her shooting. There's not a lot of people that can get it to Boston where she can just catch, make the move, or catch and shoot. I mean, it's just getting it to where she doesn't have to necessarily do anything. Or if she does, they get it as she's curling off, face up to where she can put on a quick move and drive. So, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do struggle to get the ball to Boston in good scoring position without Clark on the floor.
So we do have the All-Star break coming up. Of course, the number one concern for everybody is Caitlin Clark. If she plays in the All-Star game, I think we expect it to be limited, right?
I think she'll start and come off. I mean, I know we discussed it earlier. I think she'll start, maybe play a couple up and downs, and then just off. Although did you see they're changing the rules for the All-Star game about
free throws and like hockey. It's going to just be like
it's like hockey. It's just It's like
cool.
Hot
I love
swap.
it.
Did you see that? A 4-point shot, substitution like hockey, and no free throws
until the last 2 minutes. Until the last 2 minutes, they get free throws.
No free throws. 0. That's what I say. Free throws ruin basketball games.
The problem with that is then people are just going to start hacking each other. They already called Caitlin the villain at the ESPYs tonight. Somebody
awesome. Did. We'll take it.
I will say this about Caitlin. Hey, what Stephanie White said and what they said, because they listed her as questionable. Then they got her MRI report back that downgraded her to not being able to play. And then Stephanie said whatever she does, All-Star activities will be between Caitlin and the team.
And her team.
And because it is big and the league is going to want her to have a presence, I think, like you said, John, they'll either start her and then bring her out. If she does anything, it's going to be limited because, it was the left groin, now it's the right groin. You just can't fool around with that stuff because if she would suffer, strains are one thing. If she would end up tearing that, that's a season-ending injury.
We just went through this, so we know exactly what that's like. And I think earlier on the Fever report, I brought up Kobe Bryant had an injury, and eventually it led to a season-ending injury. The same thing with Kevin Durant, played through. Just something you've got to be very careful with.
Yeah, fans in Indiana should be very wary of that, right? Like, we should be very hyper aware of it. So
we want to see her out there every night, but not at the cost of losing her for the season.
100%. 100%. I'm actually fine with it, as much as it sucks to say. Like, I'm okay if it is if she has to sit for like the half of the remaining season and they don't make the playoffs at all. I'm okay with that, just to preserve the long-term health of the player.
You know what, John? I
would be happy about it.
The thing is, I think they can make, even if she misses half of the second half of the season, I think they can still make the playoffs. Probably not as good
I think so too.
But yes, it's not. I don't want to go through. We don't want to go through what we went through with the Pacers, with Halliburton, and for Caitlin. I mean, you just don't want to.
Yeah, and then you miss her for an entire season next year.
Yes, because the one thing is she's so competitive that she can't play cautiously. This is why I believe she hurt her right, is because she was trying to compensate for the left because she wants to play so badly. She's such a competitor. And so you got to kind of
Michelle, you're in and out. Guys, 18 games left in the regular season, John. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Caitlin, and I think that is the number one story, even more than a playoff pursuit or a championship pursuit. A healthy Caitlin is now the number one priority for the season.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly just shut her down for as long as you need to for her to be able to play well, and don't be apologetic about it. Just say we would rather protect her and keep her healthy than get wins. And I think the fans would appreciate, and the real fans will appreciate and understand that.
And get her on a stringent stretching program.
Yeah, I think
I'm not a doctor, so.
When she bulked up a little bit in this offseason weight training program. Now I do think that they need to work more stretching and more core strengthening exercises and not worry so much about her putting on a ton of muscle.
All right, guys, thanks so much. It's been a lot of fun despite the loss and kind of the bad news. But, John, have so much fun on Friday and let us know how it goes, and we'll talk all about it. Thanks again to John and Michelle for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. Love doing that with them after every single Fever game. We'll be talking All-Star game a little later in the week. And, of course, we'll have a recap and reaction of the All-Star game, whether Caitlin Clark plays or not, on Sunday. Maybe even late Saturday. Thank you so much for listening. Please share the podcast so we continue to grow, so we can bring you more podcasts like this. Thank you ever so much. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.